Well, welcome to another episode of Allphin on Fishing. You know, today's going to be a stormy day at Lake Powell. It's the second day of pre-fish, and I just barely launched the boat. Threw a little homemade red crankbait that I just painted up, and that's what I came up with. So today we're going to be fishing a lot of baits. I'm going to be fishing spinnerbaits. I'm going to be fishing jigs. I'm going to be fishing little crankbaits. I'm going to be fishing, you can see on my deck, I've got a jerkbait, a couple of jigs, then I've got some drop shots and other kinds of baits. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of pre-fishing in the middle of March in Lake Powell. Weight on this one, I'm guessing about 2.5 pounds, but it's a very nice fish. And let's see about getting that reset. See if I can get it reset here. There we go. Well, that's a little bit bigger than I thought. 284 is what that fish weighs. You can see it right there. Should be able to. That's great. Okay, let's get her back safely in the water. When I fish a crankbait like this happens to be a square bill, but I fish several different types of crankbaits in the spring. And one of the things that I try to do is vary the retrieve. That's one of the keys to fishing crankbaits, is that you've got to be able to reel it fast, stop it, pause it, and then just reel slowly, sometimes just barely feeling the wobble. First, a few minutes of the morning, I've chosen to throw red just because it's a color that's easily seen. And a lot of times I'm fishing for smallmouth bass, which are sight feeders. So I think they can see it a little bit better. So that's why I fish a red crankbait fairly frequently. I don't know if you can see in the distance my fishing partner today. First name's Great Blue and his last name's Heron. And he has just shadowed me all morning long. Patient fisherman, I'll tell you that much. And every time I come up to him, he's going to just fly off here and help me find the next spot. So I like Great Blue. There he goes, and he'll be just a little bit down the shoreline helping me figure out whether there's any bait fish and that kind of thing. So that's Great Blue Heron. There's my friend again. We're looking into the sun, but he's just getting ready to fly off again. There he is. You can see him right there. Patient birds. Some of the best fishermen I've ever been around. A little patient now. Just being patient. There he goes. Just threw a spinnerbait out there. And there is a very nice largemouth right there. Just took it right at the boat. Isn't that amazing? That's this. It's starting. This is what happens when they start coming up from the deep, and that's what I'm after. Obviously, I didn't have a choice. It just snarfed it just as it was coming back in the boat. That's why it was almost impossible to land, because he just came up and ate. But we'll get a scale on this girl and see what she says. Okay, it says 304. 304 for that little girl. So that's quite a nice little bass. Her get right back in there where she was. Just so you know, I've been rotating through my through a red crankbait, a shad shaped crankbait, and then also a spinnerbait. And as you can see right there, you see that spinnerbait in the water. That's where that fish came up. So she had to come completely offshore to get it, which is a good sign. Well, I don't know that I can even get this one. This was such a big bite. My goodness, look at that fish. That's a nice little fish. Okay, that hit exactly as I thought it would. Got to be careful. This is kind of hooked a little bit weird. Make sure I don't cut his gill. I think I can get him off there first, and carefully get him like that. That's just a beautiful fish. That's just about a 2.25 pound bass, but boy did he hit it hard. Beautiful, beautiful fish. There he goes. Well, it's only 11:16 in the morning, and I've got 3 fish that I got on film at some stage of the catch and release, but I've had one more fish that I did not get on film, so I'm sitting at 4 fish, and I'm guessing that my average is probably 2.75 pounds for the 4 fish. But you know, and of course, if you're in a tournament, you got till 3:30, maybe even 4 o'clock to get your fish. But as I found out at Lake Havasu, sometimes you can have your fish at 9 o'clock in the morning, at least 4 fish, and never get that 5th bite. There we go. Don't know what that is, but it sure picked it up just like it should. Feels like a nice fish, and it is, and it's a dandy. That might be the biggest fish of the day if I can get it in. He's not hooked very well, but I got him. What a nice fish. What a nice fish. Let's weigh that one. That's number 5. Let's go ahead and weigh him. There he goes. Nope, got the wrong unit. There we go, 362. 362 for that little puppy. So, great. Great. To ambush prey. But I'm of the belief that these fish are not necessarily looking to eat. I think they're opportunistic, and that spinnerbait comes past them, and they just react real quickly. But the bottom line is that it's been cold, and I think that it must have been warmer a week or so ago, because it looks to me like they're coming up and trying to sun a little bit. That's why the spinnerbait bite has been so good today. Might not be good at all for the next couple of weeks, but today it's been a dandy. Today has been a real fun day. It's only 11:30 in the morning. I've got my 5th fish that I just weighed. It looked like I weighed 13.80 pounds, almost 14 pounds. I'll just throw in a little chartreuse and white spinnerbait, just a 1/2 ounce, not a big deal. Ooh, I've got to retie that one real quick because must have hit a mussel or something. So But today's fish, the first couple of fish came on nice little homemade red crankbait, and by homemade I really mean that. I bought the blank, put the hooks on, painted it, and painted it to look like a red crawdad or something like that, and it was a square bill, and then the rest of the fish have come on a spinnerbait. Well, I just picked up a jig. Saw this little rock formation that looked good, and so I'm going to be fishing a jig. I want to explain a little bit how I do it. I'm trying to pitch right to the shore, or basically into, if you can look out there, there's some underwater rocks, you know, maybe basketball sized rocks. I like to throw it over the top of those so that it's in a crack or a crevice or some place that the fish might hide. And then all I'll do is I kind of almost on a slack line, I'll just start shaking it up and down a little tiny bit and hopping it kind of back towards me. So when the when the bait falls, it's just looking really, really natural. I don't want it penduluming back to me. Just pitching a jig. Just kind of hop it back to you. Oh, wait a second! I've got him. He just took it. He just packed it off part of the. Oh my gosh! Look at this fish. Oh my goodness, guys. Look at that fish. Let me get back there where I can get him. That looks like a 5-pounder. Oh, look. Look at that fish. Look at that fish. I was showing you how I just jigged the thing up. I look down a little bit, and all of a sudden the line just goes. Oh, look, right top of the mouth. Look at that fish. Oh my gosh, that is a gorgeous bass. Let me just get that weighed real quick. .496. We got, well, let's just see what it goes. 486. Oh my, what a bass. Let's get that girl right back in where she can go continue to make some babies. Thanks for watching Don Allphin on Fishing today. We've had a great, or I've had a great day. You know, it started out with a good crankbait bite, then it switched to spinnerbaits, and then concluded with it was another day, the next day, with a beautiful 5-pound largemouth caught on a jig, and I hope that you're understanding that in the springtime, when you're trying to figure things out, it might take you 5, 6, 8 baits to see what's going on, and but just keep with it, get your head down, and just keep making casts, and you'll be able to find the fish you're looking for. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time, and have a great day.